ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on ABC 7 News at 4. And this Tuesday is showing mainly storms east of I-75 once again. We're starting to get into this pattern of west winds, and that means most of the action will be inland in the afternoon and evening. We're kind of seeing that already. There's not much of an east coast breeze making its way over either, so that means these storms will continue to kind of move off toward the east. Get a look at the radar picture showing what's going on. A cold front's coming down across the southeast. This cold front's going to make it all the way into North Florida. It's not going to make it here, but it is going to make it into North Florida, and this front is right about there. It will continue to force that high pressure ridge down to our south, and that means we're going to see that westerly component of wind right in through the next several days, and then showers and storms will have a tendency to form during the overnight and early morning hours in the Gulf and work their way on shore during the morning. Now, the heaviest rain by far is east of I-75. There's not much at all near the coast. In fact, take a look at I-75 all the way down to Northport. Not much happening. The heavy storms that you see right there are moving to the east at 10 to 15. You can see some of those tops and hear the thunder from Lake Sarasota and near Laurel Oak as well as Heritage Oaks. Again, all that pushing off basically to the east. There's not much of an east breeze to push it back toward the coast, so I expect most of the storms here in the next couple of hours to stay east of I-75. You can see the Bee Ridge Road extension there getting some rainfall. All the winds are basically out of the west, and folks are saying they can smell that nasty dead fish smell all the way past US 41 and heading east. The forecast is calling for a few isolated storms possible this evening, and then most of it, as I said, pushing off toward the east coast. Well, much more on a forecast. Take a look at the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline, Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Now to our top story. Sarasota City Manager under pressure after using a personal email account for city-related matters.
ABC 7's Taylor Torgana joins us now with details about more than 600 emails obtained by the former candidate for City Commission. Taylor.
Good evening, Jacqueline Scott. Former City Commission candidate Martin Hyde challenged Tom Barwin to release all of the emails he sent using his private account since 2012. This all started when Hyde obtained more than 600 city-related emails Barwin had sent and received to his private Gmail account. Those 600 emails were only during a 2-year span, so Hyde thinks there have been many more. In a statement, the city manager says he's an open book, adding that he is more than willing to release all of the emails he unintentionally sent through this private account. I'll have much more at 5 and 6. Jacqueline Scott, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Taylor. New developments in the investigation into Sarasota City Clerk and Auditor Pamela Natalini. City Commissioners voting to spend up to $35,000 to hire an outside investigator to eliminate the chance of any bias. Natalini has been the subject of a series of poor evaluations and accusations of creating a hostile work environment. Now, she's accused of harassing managers and being difficult to work with. Now to the results of an independent investigation into a new operating software system for Manatee County schools. The investigation into the third-party vendor that installed the system finds the company did not complete the job. The system went live on July 1st and handles hiring, securing contracts, paying bills, and other basic functions of the district. Interim Superintendent Cynthia Saunders now says she can't support a contract extension with the company until it completes the job. Earlier this month, Deputy Superintendent of Business Services and Operations Ron Serrana was placed on administrative leave over concerns about payments for this new software system and its implementation process. New drug charges against a Sarasota man who was arrested last month on meth and cocaine possession. The Sarasota police charging 38-year-old Michael Peterson with possession of bath salts. Peterson was arrested in July, and this month detectives received lab results of the meth showing it did contain those drugs known as bath salts. Peterson bonded out of jail after he was booked on these new drug charges. Sarasota Police Department asking the public to help identify these 3 men. Police say they used credit cards that were taken in a recent car burglary to make purchases at a Walgreens last Thursday. If you recognize the men, you're asked to call SPD. Jacqueline joins us now with the latest on the investigation into the disappearance of a missing college student.
Scott, a body has been found in rural Iowa near the area where University of Iowa student Molly Tibbetts went missing. Investigators will hold a news conference on the discovery in less than an hour from now. Tibbetts was last seen jogging on July 18th in Brooklyn, Iowa. Her family reported her missing after she didn't show up for work the next day. The reward in this case broke local records, reaching nearly $400,000. Officials now say that money will go to anyone with information leading to the capture of the suspects. Now to the new claims in that murder case in Colorado. Chris Watts formally charged for the murders of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. Documents reveal that Chris Watts was actively involved in an affair with a coworker. In a bizarre confession twist, Watts blames his wife Shanann for killing their 2 daughters. In the affidavit, he says, quote, Bella was sprawled out on her bed in blue and Shanann was strangling Celeste. Chris said he went into a rage and ultimately strangled Shanann to death. Her friends say, though, that's impossible.
I know that Shanann would never hurt her girls. Never. Her girls were her world.
Watts also told police after hiding the bodies that he claimed he had no idea what happened for the following 2 days. A dog walk turned deadly for a woman on Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Officials have now identified the victim as 45-year-old Cassandra Klein. Klein was walking her dog near a lagoon when an 8-foot alligator tried to attack the animal. She then tried to protect her pet when the alligator turned on her, dragging her underwater.
If he sees a small dog or anything that the alligator thinks it can get and it's hungry by the side of the water, it's going to come out there faster than you can react.
Police say the dog was not harmed. Earlier this summer, a woman who was also walking her dogs north of Miami was killed when a 12-foot alligator attacked her. There are 5 million alligators across the southeast, but attacks on humans are not common. Still, experts warn to keep your distance. Let's send it back to Scott with an update on the legal battle on autism accommodations at Disney parks.
Well, Jacqueline, a federal appeals court will allow families with autistic children to sue Disney theme parks. 30 lawsuits accuse Disney of not doing enough for guests with autism. Parents testified their children had meltdowns when they had to wait too long for rides or when their routines were disrupted. 2 years ago, a district court in Florida ruled Disney was accommodating autistic visitors and dismissed the claims. But now, with the appeals court ruling, the plaintiffs can proceed in a lower court. Allegiant now offering 4 new nonstop routes out of Punta Gorda Airport. The new seasonal routes include Omaha, Nebraska, Syracuse, New York, Appleton, Wisconsin outside of Green Bay, and Albany, New York. The new routes will operate twice a week, and the year-round route will operate 3 times a week. Allegiant says these routes are expected to bring more than 56,000 new visitors to the area. Coming up, Manatee County Commissioners declaring a state of emergency. We'll hear how the declaration will help funding related to red tide cleanup. Plus, flooding in southern Wisconsin has turned deadly as police warn drivers to stay off the roads. And a heartwarming moment that's going viral in Georgia. A dad surprising his daughter who's battling cancer.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Manatee County Commissioners declare a local red tide state of emergency. The announcement coming this morning during a commission meeting. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live from Bowlees Creek with more on what it all means. Rick?
Yes, Scott, good afternoon. This should make a big difference for a lot of folks. Bowlees Creek here is one of the hardest hit areas. This state of emergency deals with fish kill that is littering beaches, canals, and other waterways in Manatee County. Funds can now be freed up for the cleanup. County officials tell us crews will work overtime if need be, and they now can buy more equipment to help with the cleanup.
It puts together the resources of our Emergency Operations Center and the many county employees that are there to help man phone banks and take duties away from their regular daily jobs and focus entirely on this spill. So it has increased the manpower application to this problem tremendously and very much appreciated.
And this local state of emergency is in effect through August 28th. County officials here do have the power and the authority to extend it as well. Reporting live from Manatee County, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Rick, thank you. Manatee County looking for volunteers to help clean up dead fish. The county hosting 2 cleanup events this week. The first will be tomorrow at the south side of Palmasola Causeway, and then the second will take place Thursday at Perico Preserve. Both events begin at 7:30 in the morning. Cleanup materials will be provided, but wear clothes that you won't mind getting wet. You can check out all of our coverage on the red tide outbreak by going to our website, mysuncoast.com/red tide. Jacqueline joins us now in the newsroom for a look at what's trending today.
Scott, a tender moment between a father and his little girl is going viral. Take a look as 2-year-old Phoenix Thompson, who was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. After finishing her first round, a nurse dropped off a tiny yellow dress. It turns out it was from her dad, who showed up in a suit and then tie to complete the surprise. Dressed as Prince Charming, he shared a daddy-daughter dance with his little princess. That heartwarming moment has been viewed over 50,000 times on Facebook. Well, take a look at this adorable ball of fur and flap at an Illinois animal rescue. He's looking to roll his way into a forever home. Bruno is a Russian blue cat, a breed that usually weighs up to 10 pounds, but he's rocking a solid 25. Bruno is a polydactyl cat, meaning that he was born with more toes than usual. The shelter manager says Bruno loves to stand up, especially when food is involved. The shelter says it's already received adoption applications from all across the world. Well, crews in Seaside, Florida were attempting to move the historic post office there, but the move didn't go quite as planned. During the first attempt to move it, the building fell, causing some major damage. The Seaside Community Development Corporation says that when moving any building, there are inherent risks, but they are assessing the damage and hope to recover the building as a whole and move it as planned. No one was injured when that building became unstable, thankfully. Well, let's send it back to Scott in the studio for a look at today's Consumer Note.
Well, Jacqueline, Southwest is raising the price for its early bird check-in on some flights. It will go from a flat $15 per person each way to $15, $20, or $25, depending on the length of the flight and the popularity of the early bird check-in on the route. Now, early bird gives travelers a better boarding position in Southwest open seating system. The switch is variable pricing will begin August 29th. The Trump administration wants to roll back another Obama-era initiative. The Environmental Protection Agency proposed a new rule to replace the Clean Power Plan. That plan set strict carbon dioxide limits for each state and encouraged a shift to natural gas and renewable energy. The proposed Affordable Clean Energy Rule would end CPP by allowing states to set their own emission standards for coal-fueled power plants. Critics say the rollback will create more pollution and affect the health of thousands of Americans. The Food and Drug Administration is extending the expiration date for some EpiPens. That move comes in the wake of EpiPen shortages. The company that makes the devices says the expiration extension applies to specific lots, which includes EpiPen 0.3 milligram auto-injectors and the authorized generic version. They have expiration dates between April of this year and December of 2018. The FDA announced last week it has approved the first generic version of EpiPen, which will be available in the coming months. Time now to get a check on our first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Lots of sunshine today for area beaches. Casey Key webcam showing not much surf out there at all. You can see that watercolor still on the brown side, and one of the folks down in Venice who take the samples down there indicating 4 million cells per liter down there. That's an extremely high number that was taken near the Venice beach earlier this afternoon. Yellow flags are flying there. What we have is a cold front that is coming down, an unusual cold front for this time of year. It's been an unusual summer. It has a high pressure pretty much right over the top of us. This high pressure is going to continue to slip down to the south and eventually park itself over the Florida Straits for at least a couple of days right into Friday. Then eventually it will track back northward or build in back northward to North Florida, and that will eventually bring our winds back around to the east. That'll happen over the weekend. Right now that front continues to head toward the Panhandle, bringing some big storms there. We've had a few isolated cells here, mainly east of I-75. You'll notice the motion and movement to the east there. The top's being blown off to the west with a high pressure in the upper level of the atmosphere, allowing us to see that east and northeast wind at this time, but that high pressure is going to be parked pretty much right over the top of us. You can see that rainfall now well east of the Bee Ridge Road extension there, also into East Manatee County, pretty heavy cell. There's nothing that's going to converge and make it kind of stop at this point. It's going to continue basically on a easterly course with the showers dying out now. You can see that near Hidden River. Pretty intense storms earlier. Outflow boundaries may generate a storm or two near the coast, but it's unlikely at this point. The rain chance at 20%. Water vapor content indicating the moisture is there, not a lot, but there's not a lot of dry air around. That dry air is behind that front. You can see it moving into Texas, Louisiana, and northern sections of Mississippi tonight. So we'll stay in a moist to somewhat moist sector. In the tropics, all is quiet now throughout the entire Atlantic, which again is very unusual not to see anything out there. There's not even a tropical wave flaring up, but a different story in the Pacific. We have Hurricane Lane that is set to cause significant damage or problems for Hawaii. You can see a well-defined eye there as it makes its way off toward the west and northwest right now, and it could get a direct hit. As far as we're concerned, the day planner here goes like this tomorrow. A few isolated showers are possible in the morning. Temperatures will top out near 90. The heat index up near about 100 to 103 degrees in the afternoon. We'll have a west wind throughout much of the afternoon as well. 87 currently with a west wind at 8 and the pressure at 30.07 inches. The water temperature at 75 degrees. Well, big storm moved through Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa last night. It is now moving through Michigan, New York, and Pennsylvania as well. That system is causing all sorts of problems and headaches with severe weather right there in a bullseye in western portions of Pennsylvania, as well as near the nation's capital. Severe storms are possible there through this evening as it makes its way off to the east. You can see that severe thunderstorm watch box covering parts of Washington, stretching down to West Virginia and into south central Pennsylvania. Out west, it's the air quality hazard as a result of the fires out there in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho tonight. That has been an ongoing situation there with the problems with the high pressure not really mixing the air much up at all. South winds for boaters tomorrow, a turn to the west at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop. The extended forecast then, 20% chance only for a few passing showers in the morning, then mainly inland in the afternoon. Same goes true for Thursday and Friday as far as the timing is concerned. We'll see those morning coastal storms and then inland storms late in the day. The rain chances really pick up on Saturday and Sunday with mainly afternoon and evening storms coming back toward the coast in the afternoon and evening. So kind of a flip-flop for what we'll see over the next couple of days at least. The app, yes, the ABC 7 weather app is available for you for free. Download it now if you haven't done so already. And also stop by and do the news app as well. You'll get alerts as far as severe weather goes or breaking news stories. And it's all at the push of a button right there on your phone. Just go to your app store, do a search for WWSB First Alert Weather, and download it now.
Well, Bob, you mentioned the heavy rain in parts of the upper Midwest. Hours of heavy rain triggered flooding in parts of southern Wisconsin yesterday. It triggered evacuations after nearly a foot of rain fell there. Dane County officials said they've recovered the body of a man who was swept away by floodwaters last night. Body found in a retention pond during a search that lasted several hours this morning. Dane County is where the University of Wisconsin is located in Madison. It's declared a state of emergency, which will free up state and federal assistance in the flood's aftermath.
And that's a lot of rain in just a short period of time. More than 10 inches of rain was reported west of Madison yesterday. Authorities said the first responders performed dozens of water rescues. You can see people in the cars. Always a good idea. If you can't tell the depth of the water of the road, a good idea not to drive in it. Many cars were submerged, as we see sometimes here on US 41 when it rains real heavy here.
Right. Well, flooding in Italy has also turned deadly. The death toll from flooding in southwest Italy has risen now to at least 11. Those hikers died after they were hit by a wall of water yesterday. Witnesses say heavy rain in the Pollino National Park area caused a sudden rush of floodwater, rocks, and mud right through a creek bed where those hikers had been exploring.
And the floodwaters engulfed some, sending them downstream, while others reportedly scrambled to higher ground to escape the water, the rushing water. Rescue operations are still underway in the flooded canyon areas as at least 3 more people remain missing. So far, 23 people have been rescued.
All right. Thank you, Bob. After more than a century behind bars, the beasts on boxes of animal crackers are now roaming free. Why Nabisco is changing their iconic picture on its animal cracker boxes.
I'm Joey Panic from Suncoast View. Coming up Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., we are celebrating National Dog Day. We'll get tips from an expert on how we can pamper our dogs and honor our rescue animals. Plus, we'll get a preview of the new play opening at Manatee Players about the life of Dr. Ruth. That's coming up Wednesday morning at 9 on Suncoast View.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family, even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
The box for a classic snack has been redesigned. Instead of caged on a boxcar, the beloved animals on the Animal Crackers box are now shown outside, roaming among grass and trees. This change comes a year after the Ringling Circus shut down the Big Top, citing high operating costs. PETA says the new design is the result of discussions it had with Nabisco's parent company to make it happen. So those Animal Crackers now free-range cookies, I guess. Well, we're just getting started here on ABC 7. Jacqueline's in the newsroom with more of the stories we're following today.
Discussing plans to combat red tide in the future. Coming up tonight at 5, we'll hear what the city plans to implement by the end of this year to help combat red tide and lessen its effects. And tonight at 6, a recent carbon monoxide scare left a house full of people in the emergency room. We'll hear from a local fire department on what precautionary measures you should take in your own home. And tonight at 7, the African American community telling candidates they have to earn the minority vote. Alan Cohn will have details on that story. Let's check in with Bob for a final look at our forecast.
Thanks, Jacqueline. And we are watching showers winding down now east of I-75. This area in particular was pretty explosive about an hour ago, producing a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall. That now is on its last legs. We have a little bit of activity now near Northport. That shower activity starting to get a little bit more expansive. What we have is the outflow boundaries kind of colliding right there with that west coast breeze, and that could fire up a little bit more so there near Northport. Also in East Manatee County, pretty heavy cell there heading off to the east, not much at all near the coastline, and that's the way it should stay for most residents here. Hidden River getting some rainfall, as I mentioned, and also just to the north of the Mayaca City area, pretty heavy cell pushing off to the east. Notice there's not a lot of easterly flow. There's a little bit right there, so as this storm enters off to the east, we could see a little bit more action developing there near Wauchula. Partly cloudy and warm tonight for your walk. The west winds at 5 to 10. And unfortunately, red tide still being reported along area beaches. Scott?
Bob, thank you. Thank you for joining us on ABC 7 News at 4. We'll see you again at 5.